What's up, everybody? This is Kyle from the Shots Fired podcast.
Hey, what's up, team? This is Mark Otich from the Shots Fired podcast.
Today, we want to give you guys a short video on a commonly asked question that we get on social media, and that is, how do I properly prepare for an interview for a specialty assignment? Together, me and Mark have 30 years of law enforcement experiences, and we've both held various assignments within the police department. If this is your first time on our channel, go ahead and check out our podcast for all law enforcement related topics and subscribe to the channel.
Shot fired.
Copy, additional shot fired.
Shot fired. Shot fired. He's shooting at us.
Suspect shooting an officer.
Face down. He's at the base of the stairs. White t-shirt, white male.
All right, step number one in the interviewing process. This is the most important portion that you can concentrate your efforts on, and that is the preparation. Preparation for this posting should start well before the interview comes out or the posting actually gets listed. The way you prepare for an interview is critical. Start by talking with the people in that unit already. Meet with them and learn who they are and ask all kinds of questions and learn specifics about that position. If it's a big department, talk to as many people as you can. You may not know them, and it gives you the opportunity to learn who they are, but the most important part is they learn who you are. If it's a small department, you may know everyone and have a closer relationship. Ask those questions. Also, ask the questions that they were asked during their interview and take note of that so you can prepare for those specific questions. You cannot be surprised in an interview. You have to prepare. One of the other things you can do, part of preparation, is shadowing those officers or those detectives or the K-9 or the SWAT team members. Go out to the training days and volunteer, be a role player, work with them. That's the best way to learn that position, and it gives you the team dynamics and to see if you really fit in with that team. If it's a detective unit, sit with them. Some departments will actually allow you to work an entire shift with the detective division. Maybe at some point you'll actually get to work a few cases and know how start to finish a case really works. So when you go into that interview, you're ready and you know what that position entails. Also, part of preparation is letting the people on that team and the command staff know that you want that position. They should know that you're interested in that position before the posting comes out. Once that posting comes out, there's gonna be people that want to go and talk and communicate with all those current command staff. That's too late. You've got to prepare before. Preparation starts well before the posting comes out.
Okay, now that you've made it to the interview, let's talk about what you should wear. A lot of officers ask themselves what they should wear during the interview, if they should wear a Class A or a business attire suit. Now, coming from the other end of the table and being an interviewer, it's our opinion that you should wear a business attire suit, not a Class A uniform. The reason for that is you want the interviewer to see a different side of you outside of the uniform. The best way to accomplish that is going to be to wear a nice professional business suit, and that goes for male and female. You want to be able to bring in your own personality to the interview. You really want to highlight who you are, and the best way to do that is to wear something outside of the police uniform that no one is used to seeing you in. The best way to accomplish that is going to be wear a professional business suit. Make sure that your business suit is nice, it's clean, it's pressed, it's well fitted, and you look very professional.
All right, so the next step is learning how to answer those questions appropriately. You've already prepared for this interview, you've already dressed for success, but once you walk in that door, your interview has started. It is game time. You have got to be ready. Walk up to the panel interview and introduce yourself and take your time. Most likely you're gonna have command staff sitting on that panel. So start with the sergeant, introduce yourself, sergeant, the last name, lieutenant, and so on. Introduce yourself and take your time. By taking your time, it lowers your anxiety. It gets a little interaction between you and the panel interview. But remember, this is a professional time. If you know the people on the panel interview, just treat them professional. Do not bring that friendship into the interview. Once you sit down and you're ready, most likely the panel interview, someone will lead the interview and they're gonna ask you, are you ready or do you have any questions? I absolutely think you should ask this critical question. And that question is, how long of an interview is this? How much time do I have for this interview? And how many questions am I being asked? And I say ask that question because one, it tells you exactly how much time you have in that interview and how many questions. If it's 5 questions in a 25-minute interview, interview, that gives you about 5 minutes per question. That's so you can really tailor and absorb and use as much time as possible and not talk too much on one question and rush on another question to end the interview. What it does for the panel is it also lets them know that you're thinking broad and outside the box, and that you're processing this entire interview and that you are organized and prepared. Now, once they ask you a question, listen to the question, and if you need to have them repeat it, ask them to repeat it. The benefit of doing that is it gives you a little more time to process that question and how to frame the beginning of it. If they ask a question and it sounds like it's a two-part, for example, can you give me an example of a strength and an example of a weakness? I recommend starting that answer off with, I'm taking this question as a two-part. So I'm gonna answer the first part of my strengths, and then I'm gonna come back and answer the second part. What that does for the panel is it lets them know that you've clearly identified the question and you know that it's a two-part, and your answer is already starting really organized. Then you put that one part in of what my strength is, and you talk about what your strength is, and you give an example, give some history, and relay your strength to the position that you're applying for. That is the most important component that you cannot forget. Outline why your strength will benefit this position. Most candidates will interview, they will not do this part, so do that part. Wrap that up and then say, now I'm gonna answer the second part of this question, my weakness. Go into an example of a weakness and make your weakness a strength. I used to type 60 words a minute. Now I know that I need to be able to type 80. So that's a class that I've been taking and I've been working on it. And then relay that to the position that you are going to apply for. Always relay every question to the position that you're applying for. And then when you finish the question, make sure you wrap it up with a bow on top. For example, saying, so in the last 3 minutes, I've just talked about my strengths and my weaknesses and how that applies to this position. By doing that, it's very clear you are done answering the question and the panel recognizes you are done with that question. Don't leave it hanging where they don't understand or they're confused if you're done or not. If you think and you're confused, they are going to be confused. Now that you've answered all the questions from the panel, most likely they're gonna say, do you have anything else to add? Or do you have any questions for us? Have a strong closing. It should be short, detailed, to the point, and really demonstrate the passion you have for this position. This is your opportunity for one last closing to leave a lasting impression. When you're done, stand up, politely shake the hands and thank each person on the interview, and then slowly walk out the door.
Okay, now comes the time for the phone call, and that's going to be whether or not you got the position. If you don't get the position, that is totally fine. Understand that the preparation for the next time you're going to interview starts now. That's going to be the time where you can show that your positivity. What they're going to be looking for is seeing how well you take that bad news. You can take that bad news and turn it into something positive, and maybe ask them why you didn't get the position. And then more importantly, I think, is ask who got the position. What you're gonna wanna do a step further is get in touch with the person that got the position and congratulate them. Maybe ask the candidate that got the position if they can set aside some time to meet with you and ask them how they prepared for the interview. Maybe they can offer you a nugget that they did, that's something that you didn't do. Maybe you guys all interviewed equally and it just turns out that the candidate that got the position has something that they're looking for at that particular time. And that's totally fine. You wanna stay positive and you wanna let the bosses know that you are gonna be testing next time for the position, and you need to do whatever you can to start preparing yourself for the next interview.
All right, team, we spent the last few minutes giving you what we believe are the best tips that you can take to have a really good, successful interview. So good luck.
Hey, thanks for tuning into our channel. And if you guys liked it, make sure you subscribe. Check out our podcast. It's all law enforcement related topics. I think you'll really enjoy it. If you have a tip that'll help others, make sure you drop it in the comment section. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Why you are doing this. That's hard, dude. Okay. All right. And action.
Ready?
To the
Just pause and then take 2 seconds and then redo.
who are those people? The people on the panel interview? Who are they? What are they called?
The oral board panel.
The oral. Okay. And the way you do that.
That's going to be the time where you can show that your positivity.
Good. That was fucking awesome. I was cheering for you. Fuck yes. That is really good.
Alright, so I'll say-
Because it is absolutely true.
I'll say starts. What did I say? Starts with positivity.
Starts with. All right, team. We spent the last few minutes giving you what we believe are the best tips that you can take to have a really good, successful interview. So good luck.
Wait, my collar.
It's fine. No, I was good. Just keep going.
Okay, and then what was?
Then you're just gonna be like, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. All right, guys, tune in for the next video, and we'll see you there. All right, guys. Oh shit. What was I saying? What do I say? We'll see.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.
It's dumb, but it's fucking funny.